Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Thursday, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to yet another news episode for you guys this evening. We will be joined by Jack from Anfield Road TV in a brief second after I've introduced the show. Quote unquote, he is late, even though he wasn't coming on tonight. But again, he's late. But he's smiling in the green room. But yes, hello everyone. Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day. Of course, we've got a bit of news today. It's been a very newsworthy day, I would say, in terms of Liverpool Football Club, of course, off the field. And of course, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be talking mainly about, of course, Diogo Jota, and news concerning him around Newcastle United as well. We'll be talking about Kelleher as well and his potential exit at the end of the season. And we will be talking about Luis Díaz as well and potentially being available for the Bournemouth game. But of course, we'll talk a bit more about that in due course as well. But I will bring on Jack from Anfield Road TV. You're late. What are you playing at?
I was busy. I can't say what I was doing. Secret mission. Secret mission to get Naby out of the football club. But no, thank you very much for having me on, mate. As I said, apologies, chat. It was my fault. But saying that, when I did message Connor, he wasn't live, so yeah.
The thing is, I looked down at my phone and I'm like, I'm checking my phone. I was like, I have a message. I wonder who's messaging me. Jack's like, where's everyone gone? What, like, we've all disappeared. And so, yeah,
friends.
everybody's left me.
Oh, no.
But anyway, hopefully all of you guys in the chat
Chat.
as well is doing well down below. And as well, guys, if you're new around here and viewing us for the first time, if you could, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button as well, and also hit that share button as well. And if any mods are in the chat as well, then please put Anfield Road TV's link down below as well. But I will get straight into the comments. But John's in saying, big up Connor, mate, I hope you're all well. I'm doing fantastic, thank you, John. Hopefully you're okay. I need to get Jack a watch as well. Even still, like, I need to get, do you know those digital ones that just automatically go off? I need to get one of them.
What, like a massive one off Amazon where like it's like 10 foot?
Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't, from our past experience, I would never order electrical stuff from Amazon.
Out of context. Yeah.
Yeah, that's firmly out of context.
Yeah.
But if you guys know, you know. But yeah, big up, Jack. May hope you're well. As well, says John.
Big up, John.
People won't get that out of context. Like,
well, basically, don't order an expensive Xbox off Amazon.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention the name.
It gets robbed.
Yeah, so. Practically. Anyway, but we'll move on then. And we'll talk, of course, about today's first story, and that is concerning, of course, one Diogo Jota. Of course, today and yesterday there was a lot of conversation over Diogo Jota, basically from a certain tweet as well, suggesting that Eddie Howe's Newcastle United are eyeing up a potential move for Liverpool's forward Diogo Jota. However, Jurgen Klopp's side would demand a fee of at least 70 million euros to let the Portuguese forward leave Anfield. It was also added upon as well, saying yes, Newcastle eyes on Jota, who agreed a fresh term contract over last summer, could prove to be a windfall for Liverpool. It's very tentative at this stage and highly improbable, but Newcastle like him, proven Premier League goal scorer, versatile. You see why Eddie Howe might like him, but of course, I think in the realism of it, I don't think, of course, Diogo Jota is going to be leaving Liverpool Football Club. I think Neil Jones as well today on Redmen was speaking about it, and even he was like, I can't see Liverpool entertaining any questions around Diogo Jota, especially with the likes of Bobby Firmino leaving at the end of the season as well. But Jack, what are your thoughts on Newcastle and Eddie Howe looking at Jota, of course, they've just signed, of course, Anthony Gordon from Everton. Of course, they've got Callum Wilson there, Alexander Isaac, St. Maximin as well. For them to come in to look at potentially Jota, I thought it was a bit of a surprise, realistically. But again, we know Newcastle, they have funds behind them, and 70 million for them, if they see Jota as a very high product on their list, I think they would come around something like that. But how do you see the situation around Diogo Jota?
It's going to be interesting. We're all looking currently at Newcastle Football Club in relation to obviously their aspirations in terms of season upon season, really improving on the quality. I think when me and you were watching the final a couple of weeks ago, mate, off camera and that, we spoke about it, we analysed it, and you look at that team in the final, potentially 2 players you'd anticipate being in that long-term vision, a long-term plan for Newcastle going forward. It's going to be interesting, and it's probably about that step in it gone in relation to Newcastle very much bridging that gap in quality. The more successful they are in terms of on the field, and obviously if they can sneak into a Champions League spot, obviously this season it would be ahead of schedule when you analyse it. And of course that's when, in relation to the quality on the pitch, and if they want to test the waters, I tell you what, if they come in with a silly offer to say to Liverpool, and Liverpool want more or less made double on the price of it, I don't think any Liverpool fan wants to see Jota leave the football club. But money talks in football, and if Newcastle say they come in with a £90 million bid, it would very much test Liverpool Football Club's resistance, really. Yeah.
I think obviously 70 million euros has been said, and so forth. I think you're right in the sense I think Liverpool would ask for around 90 million quite easily. I think especially with Jota still only being 26, somewhere around there.
He's one of the first team names in the team sheet as well for Portugal, mate. Yeah. When you look at obviously the national side, obviously Ronaldo, you don't know how long he's going to go on for, but Jota, you'd analyse their squad. Him and João Felix probably would be like the leading lights for Portugal in the next couple of tournaments as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing though as well, isn't it? And I know plenty of people have gone so far as this season and go, oh, well, Jota hasn't really done much this season. I think, of course, you have to write his season off a little bit this year because, again, he's had 3 pretty bad injuries since the back end of last season. Of course, he had the back-to-back hamstring problems, and then the thigh strain, I think it was, that kept him out for around 4 months. So again, this season hasn't been the best for Diogo Jota to defend with injuries, of course. But I also feel like when he is around, he's one of Liverpool's best players. Like we've seen how crucial he's been over the last couple of weeks. That Man City game at Anfield, how important he was in that game and getting Liverpool 3 points. And he always seems to be the guy, if Liverpool need a goal, Diogo Jota is there. Like we've had with Divock Origi over the years, where Origi would come on, get a goal for Liverpool, and get us the win. I feel like Jota's becoming.
Yeah, that's the most difficult thing with Klopp in it, gone in chat as well, in relation to the next 3 to 4 years of Liverpool wanting to keep this good, well, probably the best attacking squad depth in the whole of Europe, in all honesty. If they're all fit, if they're all fully fired. And I'm looking at that Real Madrid game as well. If we do the unthinkable, and if we can get a Luis Díaz back to somewhat half of the form in which he was showing, and when you look at that bench, potentially Liverpool in the second half, if we're in quite a good lead, you look at the last half an hour of that game, we could throw on Díaz, we can throw on Jota, and then we can throw on Bobby Firmino, and then you've still got, obviously, Salah leading the line, Gakpo and Darwin Núñez. Like that threat in itself is quite remarkable. Not to be biased, I know we're on a Liverpool channel, we're massive Liverpool fans, but if you look around Europe, I don't think any club in the whole of Europe, when they're all firing, has got next to near that adequate quality, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the big one as well is just having, you know what, I'm going to say where like we've got Roberto Firmino now,
Hmm.
when everyone is fit, Liverpool don't look like we're going to miss something there, of course. I know that Cody Gakpo, we all know now, was the replacement for Roberto Firmino. Jurgen has said this internally, supposedly Pep Linda, sorry, not Pep Guardiola, have also said, of course, to many people that, again, Gakpo was meant to be Bobby's replacement if he did go in that sense. And again, the fact that Liverpool managed to get him in 6 months earlier to learn off Bobby Firmino, I think is a massive impact. But I think the big question for me, when Liverpool, when the whole front line is fit, I think it leaves big question marks in, what is Liverpool's best front three? Because I know plenty of people in the chat, and guys, let us know your thoughts. I know plenty of people will go the current front three with Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah, Luis Diaz as well. For me, I think Liverpool's best front three is Mo Salah, Darwin Núñez, and Luis Diaz. I think it's Liverpool's best front three. Or you might even think that Liverpool should go to a full more often. I think that's a big question. I think when everyone is back and fit, it's like, what is Liverpool's best front three?
Yeah,
and I don't think we know.
That's a good thing, mate. That's what we've been crying out for years as well. That's what we want in the midfield department. That's what we want in the defensive. Because we've looked at City, and I think a lot of clubs around Europe, they've looked at City. I know they're a freak. And quite frankly, financially, it doesn't make sense because we know it's not making sense. But if you look at Real Madrid as well, we went into that first leg out going, they got nowhere, got no Casemiro, they're playing Camavinga. Obviously, we know Camavinga's a very good player, but when you look at the top clubs that have been quite successful in the last 10 years and in modern history anyway in football, like you need that competitive edge, and I think that's something is correlating in relation to Liverpool's poor form this season. If Liverpool actually had quite competitive quality in a variety of areas, that's where you create a winning atmosphere. That's where you create a winning run of games, really. Yeah. Obviously, when we won the league, there was the starting 11, and then you had one or two players that were coming in and doing a job, really. It wasn't necessarily a whole 16, 18 players that were vying for every single place. And when you're in that environment, it only bodes very well for everyone in the club, including the managers, but all the players as well. They'll get global recognition, especially if they want to break into a Champions League side, actually put themselves in the window. Of course, if you're being successful, other clubs will be going. And that's where it's up to Liverpool very much keep the crop of players as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonzalo Ramos, the new big Portuguese star too as well. Yeah, I think he scored a hat-trick in the World Cup, was it?
No, just this week, wasn't it? Yeah.
Was it this
week? I tell you what, like everyone's going, Darwin Núñez is a flop from outside of Liverpool, really. But I tell you what, Liverpool definitely knew about Gonzalo Ramos. Like, you're telling me that they hadn't done the paperwork. They probably done a deal with, you never know, Benfica. If he actually, if he does well, can we maybe have a discount price, given that we've bought Darwin Núñez? But yeah, he's a very special player. Well, it's going to be him and Osimhen that will be interesting to see where they go.
Do you know what? I think Osimhen goes to United. I'm not going to lie. I think United will have the choice between him and Kane, and I think they'll go Osimhen. I don't think Harry Kane's getting a big move next summer. I think he'll stay at Spurs forever. I think his time has gone. I think in terms of a big move.
I think. Do you reckon, Chas? Do you reckon? I've said to you off camera. I think I've watched Bayern a couple of times this season, and even in Champions League. I know they done well last night, but I think if they had a Harry Kane, I think.
That game would have been done in the first leg.
Yeah, I think later on you get into Champions League. It'd be great if they actually won the Champions League as well, but I think if Harry Kane screams to me every time I watch Bayern this season, screams, get Harry Kane. Obviously, he's probably the most similar to Lewandowski in the whole of Europe, the way in which he plays. But would you say if it was one team in Europe that you go to, would it be Bayern? Or?
I'd say yeah, probably. It's certainly the way that Spurs have definitely used him over the last couple of seasons, especially with him moving more towards that false nine position with Kulusevski and Son running in behind of him. And you think about it now with Bayern Munich, you think of the quality that they have for going forward. You know,
Yeah.
Musiala now on the left. Mane, of course, hasn't been playing due to his knee injury. He's coming back.
Tonight, you streamed me stream last night, Con, and you did chat. I was slagging him off. I was doing that in the World Cup as well. I went, Netherlands are bringing on that massive dinosaur, and he goes and scores 2 against Argentina. So the plays I slag off, they
tend to do better after you slag them off.
Yeah,
it's always the commentator's curse for the other way for you as well. But Ben saying, I think good team with Ben as well. I think we're transitioning away from 4-3-3. Yeah, potentially. I think we'll see a lot more of the 4-2-3-1. I think from next season onwards, considering Liverpool signed the players. 3 for now. Díaz, Núñez, and Salah and Gakpo probably at right back, but more horses for courses scenario as well. Yeah, absolutely. He got 2 as well. I think that's what Gonzalo Ramos. Jota sold is a load of nonsense. Kelleher deserves first team football. I can't deny him that I can see him at Leicester. He's been brilliant for them, but I want to keep him at the same time. We'll get on to Kelleher now in a moment. Benfica are brilliant to watch. Yeah, they are. I think them and Napoli have been the most entertaining teams this season, Euro.
I'd love if one of those won, mate.
I'd love if Napoli won it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think Napoli... is it Kelleher? I think he's an absolute baller. I think he'll be one hell of a signing for a top club if they were to get him. Came to United and Osimhen to Madrid. I'd say, I'm not going to lie. I think if Madrid don't get Jude Bellingham, I think they try and go after Mbappe again, especially what happened last night in the Champions League.
He's gone. Surely he's got to analyse his game, Con, and chat. And be like, I don't want to be here anymore. Yes, he got a new contract and all that, but surely
he can snap out of it though, can't he? I think he had that clause, he can literally just go, okay, I want to go. I think they have to accept. I think it's north of 100 million, quite obviously, but I think it's if the correct fee is there, I think they can just go. But I do think Madrid will go back in for Mbappe. There's just something they like last night. If you watch Mbappe speaking to the media, he didn't want to be there. Quite obviously, because they just gone out to the Champions League. But everything all the media that was trying to ask him questions, he just didn't want to seem interested. He just wanted to get out as quick as possible. Anyway, but we'll move on then. Of course, and now we're going to talk about Queen Kelleher as well. Of course, Liverpool's number 2 goalkeeper, and to be quite honest, every time he's been called upon to be in goal for Liverpool, he's done an absolutely amazing job. But of course, it's also got mentioned as well that he will leave Liverpool at the end of the season. I think this isn't a kept secret. I think me and Jack were speaking about off air yesterday about this, and we've known for probably since the summer that this would be Kelleher's last season for Liverpool Football Club. Just because, as you guys well know as well, and like you've mentioned in the comments, he's too good to be a number 2 goalkeeper at the club. Of course, holds the records for the most penalty shootout wins by a Liverpool goalkeeper in our history, which I think is 4 or 5. I think it is. So again,
great bit of history, especially on the quizzes as well. Maybe that's going to be one that comes up.
So again, 100% Liverpool legend in that regard. But it's then the question of A, how much, and B, where's he going? Now, the estimated value is around £30 million, and supposedly the interested teams are Tottenham and Leicester, which of course they've bought a former Liverpool goalkeeper in Danny Ward back in 2017 for 12.5 million as well.
I still don't know how we pulled that off, Jack. Like, how did we get 12 million for Danny Ward? I do not know.
It's definitely a robbery from Michael Edwards.
It's up there with like Dom Solanke and Jordan Ibe. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. But Jack, where could you see him going? I think for me, I think Spurs would be a huge move for him because obviously Hugo Lloris, he's been there for the next. At Spider, I can't see you mentioning.
Go on, yeah.
I'm not mentioning Kelleher's first name again.
It's Queven.
Queven Kelleher. Is that how you say it?
I say Queven.
Queven. Again, I apologize if I butcher Kelleher's first name. God, I'm Irish. But yeah, Jack, where could you see Kelleher potentially going if he was to leave in the summer?
I like Brian shout there in the comments tonight. He's saying obviously David Raya, obviously his contract's ending. Don't know if it's this season, as Brian said there, but if he leaves this year, then I can fully see him, as Brian said before a bloody die. I can fully see him going to Brentford. Obviously with the ability of the ball at his feet. That's so paramount in the modern era, as we know, in terms of ball playing from the back. And but yeah, most definitely, that's a great shout. That, right? Probably worth the father to back on. Obviously, Kelleher to go to Brentford. I can 100% see that. In all honesty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who would you say, Con, in chat?
I think Tottenham. I do think Tottenham. Because I feel like I'm saying this. I think Spurs have a huge problem at the moment where I don't think they know who their manager is going to be next season. I don't think Antonio Conte will stay at Tottenham next season onwards. I think to be fair, I think that's going to be a whole different problem for Spurs come the summer. Because I think is Conte out of contract this summer? If anyone knows, I don't know whether.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah,
is he? Yeah, I don't think he'll be. Yeah, I don't think he'll be there for all. But again, at 30 million, I think that's the right price tag for him, especially when you've got the likes of Pickford going, not Pickford, sorry, from Ramsdale going from Sheffield United to Arsenal for similar prices. But yeah.
Just reading Brian's. Our mate answers, we know, not best too pleased with Brian giving a shout out there.
I will. Queven. Oh, there we go. It's in my name. Thank you, Spider, for that as well. And I said to Ant before that they should be after Kelleher, and he was seriously the idea. Liverpool cast off fingers burnt. Hey, if Ant's in you, Ant, I know you're exactly the same when it comes to Yuri Tillemans, and you wanted us to spend 60-70 million on Yuri Tillemans. But again, that's not happening.
What is it? What is it, Colin Chaz? After like the last 2 years of me going, Tillemans will be shocking in Liverpool's system. to then being in Liverpool shirts and be like, how wrong I was. But in man of performances.
Can we have the conversation if Liverpool somehow end up signing Barella, how you'll react?
Oh, mate, I'm getting banned off YouTube if that happens. I get a 6-month suspension. Yeah, I might have to start streaming on certain other websites.
Yes, it's called prison.
That's where Kyle Walker's going, mate.
That is true. That is very, very true. Yeah, he's leaving as well. Yeah, absolutely, right. I really want to do a chat. Based on the value of bets on players, which I think Liverpool don't do enough of sometimes as well. Says Biden, absolutely.
A lot of clubs would benefit off that, though, mate. Considering obviously, fair enough, it was like 10 years ago when we were absolute shocking. Like if we were passing off like Bedini, yeah, mate. Do you want an ex-Roma young prodigy? I think he's in the Turkish league or something now, but that is a good show. You look at certain other players. Did make me sad, Con, watching last night. You had Adiki wallop the post, and then you had Sadio Mane coming on, and he put the ball in the back of the net, but it was just about offside.
It's that, and it's like where the, do you like when you think back, like the memory, like, and the Divock Origi chance, it was like the exact same as the final in Madrid.
Oh
Where he
yeah.
just shifts it onto his left foot and it hits the post. It's like
I was
man,
hoping he scored that last night because that would have given Tottenham fans PTSD to obviously the
the
Champions League
final.
final. You were like, "Oh my god, go away, Benny!
I love it.
Go away,
And
Origi."
genuinely, like obviously, there's rumors suggesting that he's leaving Milan at the end of the season. Again, I hope he finds a great club to go to, because again, it hasn't worked. Sadly, it hasn't worked out.
He needs to go back to, what was the chap? Gone Belgium. Just go to like Club Bruges. Go back home in terms of obviously playing for a Belgium club and start banging him in because he's good enough. Like obviously, yes, if you want to be going back to back like league finishes and top of it, like the Premier League, obviously he does a certain job. But
Yeah.
if you want to, I reckon he'd thrive at Club Bruges or like an elite side in around Europe.
I was going to say Bundesliga, but then I just remember his loan spell at Wolfsburg, like, and it was awful.
Yeah, probably Turkey. Have you got Champions League football? Because you're looking at,
maybe like how Sebastian Haller went to Ajax.
Yeah, it definitely do a job for Ajax or like a Feyenoord or someone.
Yeah.
I mean, he just needs to play guaranteed football week after week, mate, and then you'll see the best of the league. Really.
I think he needs to be the main striker for a team, doesn't he? Because again, Milan have very much gone with loyalty. I think this season where they've gone with Giroud, and then of course Ibra when he was fit, but then of course Ibra's now coming back to full fitness. And I think that's what Divock needs. Like, because again, I think before, of course, his big injury for Divock Origi, obviously the one that he picked up against Everton, I think Divock Origi was firmly on his way to being a world class striker.
Because I've said to a lot of me West Ham mates as well, Con, like I've had on the channel before as well, mate, and they were like, they'd always mention Origi. They were like, "Oh, we could do with like a Divock Origi type player to come in." I was like, "You should have went for him." Obviously, they've only had Antonio, but it's a bit of a mad one. I think, as you said, Con and chat, I think we will see him move to another club because he deserves it. Just needs to get guaranteed game minutes. Really, he's just not getting that at EC.
No, absolutely not. Alan's in as well. Hello, Al. Hopefully, on a fantastic night. We're feeling all right. The boys as well. Scott Parker sacked again yesterday, twice in a few months. Yeah, it's I don't get why they sacked their previous manager. When he got into the last 16, I think they were fifth in the league, but like only like 2 points off top or something like that. And yeah, they went with Scott Parker.
It was were you on my podcast or was I was on yours this week, Con? And we said it was legit a crime that he actually, Scott Parker, was managing the Champions League.
I think it was last week when we were looking at the Champions League fixtures.
Yeah, that is an absolute joke.
Absolutely. As in sellable players within our squad, who is there for the reason 15 goals for 2 seasons with us, and then get 45 million for them in the summer, or move on for 60 in January. I think you look, so for example, if you look within our squad at the moment, I think obviously the most valuable assets that you could sell off at the minute is
Gomez and Curtis Jones.
Yeah, probably.
As much as that angers people on Twitter, I can already hear them. But when you look and analyse, like any business, I think a massive point to signing Gomez down, Con, and we spoke at that time, didn't we? When we done our shows, and Bruno Fernandes should have been sent off. Chat, we're not watching that game. He should have been sent off. But Man United though. When you look at it, it protects the value, obviously, for any asset in a club. I think those two, I think massively, Jones, whatever anyone thinks of the ability, but I think outside the top 6 or clubs in a top 10 Premier League team would definitely come in for Joe Gomez if he was available. And by Lord, if Harry Maguire's getting bought for 60, 70 million, Gomez is easily 50 million, 60 million, considering his age and considering his experience. Oh, Sheffield, I tried my best to mute the mic. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I fully get what you mean. I think yeah, I think as Brian has said in the chat down below, I think that's the perfect destination for him. Villa all day for Gomez. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think if we go through the league, who needs a centre half, but then it's
I think everyone needs a centre half though. Like you could look at Gomez and he'd definitely do a job at Palace, considering they play 3 back as well. But it's the thing when you look at these players like that we've got, and it's what we've got to be doing. Nice one, Brian. Nice that someone does. No, someone said that, Brian. Like when you look at it, like we've got to look. That's interesting enough. You spoke about it at the top of the show, Con, in relation to obviously the injuries with Jota as well. Especially if Jota does have a troubled next 2 years and he continues to get a reoccurrence of like the injuries he's had, then that's because we don't want to be. Ox is the prime example of that player.
Don't want to be keeping players that are injury prone,
and especially getting the contract down as well year upon season.
Yeah, because I think, like obviously, I think Ox and Naby have been the prime example of where I think we all thought like we've said it like season upon season. Oh, they'll kick on next year. They'll kick on next year. Like, and I think the Naby situation I think is the most frustrating situation where last season was his best ever year in a Liverpool shirt. The start of this year went back to being the Naby of old, and then for the rest of the season, it's just been, oh, I'm not signing a new deal. I'm not going to be. I'm just going to stay at the club. I'm not going to be sold. I'm injured. I'm just going to be, on the treatment table for the entire season, and then I'm off to my next club. And if I was a club like looking at Naby Keita, I wouldn't want him, if I'm being honest. And again, you guys know I've been an Naby Keita,
fanboy.
Naby Keita supporters. It's not fanboy, it's supporters. It's not fanboy. But again, when he's 100% fit and wants to play, he's one of Liverpool's best midfielders, and that's the frustrating part where you watch Man United away last year. The semi-final against Man City in the FA Cup was brilliant to watch. Naby Keita counter press and completely batter.
You can probably count it on like one hand, like the good games.
How many good games he's had? Yeah,
and that's the frustrating thing. Like, he's spot on. Like, and that's the issue where Liverpool have been at over the last couple of seasons. Wrong. We know the statistics. Liverpool have been so good over like the last 2-3 years. We've it's only this year that, and obviously the centre back crisis year that we've very much struggled in the league. And that's the thing. When Liverpool potentially going out and buying the next Naby Keita or type midfielder for a big transfer fee, we don't want to be going down, as you said, 4 years down the road, and we've not really got value for money. And it's not like we're Man City or a Real Madrid or a Barcelona when they had money and splurging a load of cash on this midfielder, and then he becomes crippled after about, like, defensively crippled with injuries.
This is what we just say
in the next couple of weeks.
This is what we just say. What I've said about when we have this whole Klopp and Guardiola debate, they've pushed each other to the limit over the last couple of seasons. But in my opinion, and this might be a couple of people's opinion, I'm not entirely sure, but Pep Guardiola couldn't do what Jurgen Klopp's done in terms of if we had signed a £50 million fullback and the next season he wasn't good, we can't replace him like what Pep's done with his fullbacks at City. Again, that's working in the environment that you're in. Of course, Klopp could have done it if he signed a £50 million player and so on. But I think that's the thing where with Liverpool's recruitment, it has to be right and for the right situation. With other teams and other situations, again, they can spend 30, 40, 50 million on a player. If it's wrong sound, they'll go and spend on another 30, 40 million.
And that there, in the crux of the arguments, is what Twitter and everyone argues with, Con. You're spot on. People, and I fully understand where people are coming from in relation to both arguments. People will say, back to what you just said there, Con, like, why can't we be that club? And I understand. Liverpool, over the last couple of years, it was only probably 2 or 3 extra players potentially Liverpool would have got like an extra league title, an extra Champions League, and that's right as well. But that's the thing, as you said there, Con. If we flip that, then say if Liverpool, as Connor alluded to, with the defenders or midfielders, say Liverpool had 3 or 4 transfers where we spent like 50 million, 60 million, and 70 million on like 3 different midfielders, and then say one of them works out, then we're just going to look at it. Everyone's going to look at us around Europe and go, "Have you got pie in your face?" In reality,
well, you look at Darwin Núñez, for example. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's a flop. He's this. He's that." 18 goals and assists in 21 starts this season. If you compare it to the only player that, since Jurgen Klopp has been with Liverpool, the only player that has done better in their first season is Mo Salah, when he had his unbelievable first year. Darwin Núñez is second on that list. Like, where people go, "Oh, but he's a flop." Like, what are you watching? Like, again, if you go by Darwin Núñez and what he's done in his career, he's always not struggled in his first year, but he's always taken a season to get to his best. He did it in Spain. He did it with Benfica. The second year, he goes mental. And next season, I expect the same. I absolutely expect Darwin Núñez to go from this to this. Like, he'll go crazy next year.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's mad though, Con. Like, let's, as chat the last couple of weeks as well, everyone's been joking about, let's keep on signing these supposed flops on social media. Like, they might actually start winning the Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, long may it continue. But and that's just modern day fan culture in a nutshell, Con, in relation. We've done, I don't know, I've done YouTube for 6 years, and you've done it for a very long time as well. It's we live in a world now is everyone's just waiting. Everyone's got like saved tweets from people of like criticizing players and obviously positive messages that they said about players.
We definitely don't have that.
Yeah, no, Connor's got lots saved on me. I know that for a fact. Mainly on about Yuri Simmons. But yeah, it's that notion in it. But I'm all for it, and it's the thing. Go on, Liverpool, sign Tielemans. No comments. But yeah, it's fun. And I love it. That's a part of the good banter as well. And of course, especially with content creation, it's whatever wind whatever wind the wind does blow, you go in that direction, or you can go in another direction.
Luke, I would have invited you on, but everyone disappeared, so I couldn't ask anyone. So yeah, apologies for that. I'll have to get you on for a preview show. Again, though, probably Ricky will end up predicting freaking the other team winning 1-0, like he always does. But either way, Villa all day for Gomez as well. And what I should say as well, I love being wrong on a player. Like I've said it to you guys. I love the fact I was wrong about Gini Wijnaldum. Like I personally didn't see why we signed Gini Wijnaldum to begin with at Newcastle. I was very much happy I was wrong in that. And again, I miss Gini Wijnaldum at the Liverpool Football Club. Gomez, Jones, Jota, Carvalho in 18 months, Fabinho at end of the season, says Spider. I'd agree on 3 of them.
Carvalho's going to be the maddest one, Con, and we've said this, and every Liverpool fan around the world when we sat down and spoke to the mates and that. It is a very pivotal next 6 months. Depending on what happens with this season, if you're Carvalho, when you've come from being a first team regular in the promotion, one of the best teams in the championship last year, like obviously you've gone and signed Pereira. Carvalho would have been playing ahead of Pereira, and Fulham would most definitely not have signed Pereira, in all honesty, because they've got Carvalho. And for me, and that's where it stems to Liverpool getting midfielders, if we can get adequate, better quality, then, as I said, loan Carvalho out only if we've got enough quality, and then get him guaranteed minutes, because they do well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, there is a little bit at the moment where I think we are trying to figure out his best position, because unless we're playing 4-2-3-1, and as me and you said in previous streams, Carvalho is a number 10. It's now figuring out what's his best position. Sorry, I think either he can be. I think he could be an 8 in it, like a type of Thiago role. But then we've also seen him on our left hand side where he's done a quite good job as well this season. So again, I think what people want to forget though as well, Jurgen did exactly the same with Kostas Tsimikas, and a lot of people thought that, oh Christ, was Kostas done? The next season then and onwards, he's been pretty decent. Well, I say pretty good until, of course, some games this season. But again, the whole Liverpool squad have been bad this season anyway. But as Spider saying, the battle for centre backs this summer is going to be nuts. Nearly all the top teams need one minimum as well. Well, we mentioned it, didn't we, on yesterday's not yesterday's show, the day before show, but Garvidal as well. Of course, he's going to be a sought after defender for sure in the coming weeks and months. Scenes when we announced Bellingham and Garvidal on the same day. Again, of course, I wasn't going to put this in the show as well, but again, we know now that Bellingham's going to officially announce where he's going after the international break. So
is he?
Yeah, it got told today.
What, like got leaked or?
I don't know if it got leaked, but it was reported out that it will be wildly known what he's chosen after the international break. So, Liverpool, please. Wait,
I'm taking a 12-month sabbatical if we don't get him. So,
oh Jesus Christ! Don't let Tom.
Tonight I'll become part-time again on YouTube.
No. Either way, loads. I hate phone typing. Have to turn on voice to text, but the Vic won't understand.
The fecker.
The fecker.
You have to read it in Spider's accent, though.
This is why I do shows, lol. Don't worry, Spider. Don't worry. But I think for me being Welsh and Jack being Scouse, I think even Google looks at us sometimes and be like,
oh yeah, when I do me TikTok videos and try and translate what I've said, nah, mate. No.
Can't be having that.
No.
Absolutely not. Spider-Man, turn off to talk, for God's sake. You'll melt it with your accent as well. Jesus Christ. Brian, I'm working on blood. Roy Keane has me accent. I just use the perfect. To be fair, Roy Keane, I feel like the slower he talks, the more angrier he becomes. At times when you listen to this guy. So yeah.
I did love that story, don't you? Like if that, like, what was it? One of his his Roy Keane's mates or something, got in a car and he was behind him and he's he said something, didn't he? Like the classic Roy Keane story, anyway.
Yeah. Have you seen the bit about where he spoke about the World Cup, where the water park? Have you not?
Oh, yeah. I know he's a Manchester United player, chap, but he's absolutely hilarious in commentary.
I think that, when you get a full good argument, or if United lose really badly, like they did against Liverpool, and last season when they lost, I think was it City they lost 6. Was it this season or last season they lost 6-3?
Yeah, no, this year.
This year was it? Jesus Christ. It seems like a very long time ago. But yeah, even still, just him after the games, it's hilarious to watch. Haaland has 9 goals in his last 13.3 games. I think that's his last 13. 3 of those were against Wolves, and he failed to score in 7 of those games as well. Yeah, he hasn't been fully hitting the second half of the year, is he? Not exactly a goal machine as well. And Haaland is good. I'm not. Again, I think every single Liverpool fan were like, yeah, Haaland's crap at the beginning of the year. And then he started banging in goals and we were like, yo, you're only joking. He's not that good.
But for a fact, if he doesn't beat the Premier League record this year, he'll literally turn up to the Premier League and absolutely demolish it next year because that'll wind him up so much. I'm going to have a quick look in terms of what goals he's on at the minute.
That's what I was exactly about to check.
Yeah, he's on 27 goals, 5 assists.
So he needs 5. He needs 5 more goals.
Is he?
32 most goals in that season. Because it was.
You can do that playing the Ev.
Yeah, true. When you look at it like that, though, it's that's ridiculous. The fact he only needs 5 more goals to break the record.
What I love as well, though, Con and chat, it quite frankly hadn't dawned on me. You look at Liverpool's goal output from all of our attackers. Obviously, Salah, we know he's not had the best of seasons of Mo's standards, as we know, but Mo's on 11 goals These are all Premier League as well, though, Chas. 11 goals, 7 assists. And then you look, Bobby Firmino, 8 goals, 4 assists. Darwin Núñez, 8 goals, 3 assists. Like, who's the next Liverpool player there?
Cody Gakpo.
Is it Gakpo, yeah?
In the league, yeah.
Yeah, 4 goals. And that's still good. I think Jota's been out injured as well for quite a large majority. So, we're sound for next year if we can actually get our midfield sorted and an extra defender. We'll have him.
Yeah, absolutely. Carvalho's number 10. He's capable of an 8 or false 9 also, but Gakpo is super strong at holding off players. That is not realistic at the moment. Carvalho needs to be used in a 4-2-3-1 when playing a lower slide. I think for me, Carvalho can be used like how Shaqiri was used in terms of adding to the game.
Yeah.
In that regards, when Liverpool are struggling and so on, I think he could be perfect for that. Carvalho is very hard to call either way. He only costs 7 mil, not 70. Absolutely. Again, Liverpool will make profit on Carvalho if they was to sell him right now. But again, Dortmund very much wanted him, didn't they? Last summer. But again, Liverpool again. Fulham very much wanted him to go to Liverpool was because they wouldn't have got anything from Dortmund, but they ended up getting 7 million from us instead. So
it's going to be interesting contrast whether, and you're anticipating Liverpool. Yes, he's not been playing, but you're hoping he's going into training every single day, and you never know. And give another 12 months, Liverpool can be trying to just mold him into a certain type of player, especially just trying to integrate him and embed him into the system. Because it's going to be interesting if we do continue with 2 6s in the midfield, then that just gives license to either it being an Elliott or a Carvalho, like an extra, like one of those midfielders, obviously having a bit more freedom in the team. Then it's going to be really interesting because even if, say, for example, Elliott does get a lot more game time next year, then I think he would be the rotation player, Carvalho. Him and Elliott, if they're both on form, then it would be that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will move on slightly to the last story about Luis Díaz. Of course, how much have we missed Luis Díaz this season? Again, and of course, there are suggestions that he will be fit or could be fit to face, of course, Bournemouth on Saturday, and could even get minutes against Real Madrid next Wednesday. That was reported yesterday. But today, David Lynch said, considered unlikely that Luis Díaz will make his Liverpool return at Bournemouth on Saturday. Didn't resume full training on Wednesday, and no chance of any risks being taken, which I think we all realistically expected as well, which then again, it was confirmed that no Luis Díaz in training. It was reported, though, that he was indoors doing work, but nothing, of course, serious. Just continuing his rehab and so on as well. But David Lynch as well also adding a time frame, kind of saying that judging from the timeline, Klopp was offering up he should be ready after the international break. Anything before then would be a surprise. So again, the international break is only 2 weeks away after the Bournemouth game, I believe. I could be wrong about that. It is in March. I will quickly have a look chat.
Is it after Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds. I was going to say, as long as we know our. I was like,
no, Real Madrid's on
this coming weekend, midweek.
Yeah, it's Bournemouth, then Real Madrid. Then we were meant to be playing Fulham, wasn't we? Because they, FA Cup, and then it's international break after that, I think.
We need to win both games, even if we don't progress. I think if we can get 2 good results, obviously we'd like to progress, but I'll tell you what, if we actually did do the unthinkable, but Luis Díaz, mate, we spoke about at the top of the show, massive. But I'm just open. We spoke about, we more or less done a similar show a couple of months ago, didn't we? All of us. It's been, it's great to get Díaz back, and then what is it? 2 days, a couple of days later, gets injured. I'm just open. Wait until after the international break as well. Because the last thing is, is Colombia go, oh, he's back to full fitness. Can we get him? It's like, no, just keep him long term at Liverpool, especially for Colombia in terms of the whatever competitions they've got to qualify as well. Just keep them under wraps, really.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, just double checking for you guys as well. Yeah, we got Bournemouth 12 on Saturday. Then of course Real Madrid on Wednesday, and then we was meant to be playing Fulham, but because Fulham are in the next round of the FA Cup, that game is of course postponed. So again, we haven't got that to look forward to. But after that, it is the international break as well. So again. Could be the best time for Liverpool, might not be the best time, considering what happened to the Bournemouth game. Because again, if we beat Bournemouth and then results go our way,
no ifs, we are.
Well, when we beat Bournemouth, again, if results go our way, Liverpool could be sitting fourth in the Premier League table going into the international break. So, yeah, top four. It's looking quietly okay, I think, for this season.
Just let the whole world crumble around us in terms of Tottenham. Like, we're not going to dwell too much. We spoke about Conte already, but like, Jesus Almighty, like they're so bad.
Yeah. I was generally looking at this, and I was speaking to Ben about this. How are they fourth? Like, you can tell it's a proper bad season when Spurs are fourth.
Don't even know how.
It's so bad. So bad. But again, I think Tottenham, I don't like. We speak about Liverpool going under a rebuild, City potentially over the next couple of years going under a rebuild to go again. Realistically, Spurs, I think, are going to have a massive rebuild.
Yeah, as Brian said there, I've completely forgot about it. Spot on there, Brian. It's City, Chelsea, and Arsenal after that. So, oh my God. We've really got to be concentrated. We need to get maximum points out of obviously the Bournemouth game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, first week back after the international break. Yeah, Brian's 100%. Man City up us 12 on Saturday after the international break.
Oh, Pep and Ye are going to be absolutely fuming with that, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we go, of course, Chelsea away at 8 o'clock on the Tuesday, 4th of April, and then Arsenal 4:30 then on Sunday, April 9th. So again, a very, very busy couple of weeks for Liverpool. Yes, the fellas as well. Hello, Tom. Hopefully on a fantastic day, my friend. Elliot has played every game this season. Yes, he's been involved in 38 games this season for Liverpool. So yeah, absolutely. Back from Madrid. So yeah, okay. Yeah, no, exactly. I think Liverpool are firmly gonna, I think, give it all against Madrid. But again, I think Klopp will have that mentality of go out dying on your shield type.
Is it we score 7, concede 7 though?
It's a good game of football, like either way. I'm here too, Tom, the good-looking hairy one.
That's what I was laughing at before.
I know that's what you were laughing at. These two are the budget for Fabrizio Romano, and hey.
I'm guessing I'm Conan and Brian with the beard and not like all the Jag beards.
No, I don't know. Like, to be fair, I forgot his name.
It's all right, Kev. We've been caught with, so it's
yeah, to be fair. To be fair, I think Fabrizio Romano.
It's all right, Kev's the Poundland Conor McGregor. He wishes. I don't know.
Can we get Spider having like a McGregor like cheek tattoo, like looking?
Yeah, Kev, you get when we sign Bellingham, we'll have to get. We'll do a sketch.
I think all of us will end up doing that, to be fair. It's after the next round of the Premier League fixtures, but we have a blank week as well, because of Fulham. Real is on Wednesday. I'll be watching it after landing in Munich after Holland as well.
It's going on a gig,
it's big. Yeah, absolutely. It's City, Chelsea, and Arsenal after that. Huge month as well, says Brian. Hi, Jordan. Hello, Jordan. Hopefully on a fantastic
Big up, lad. How are we?
One distinct Cavalli will be moved on when the new midfielders come in. He will be 10th choice. How many midfielders are you signing, Gary?
Gary has his way, like me, like all of us. Yeah,
it's going to be mentioned it, but there. Bellingham, Nunes, Carvajal, and a new goalkeeper. Would we be happy, or another midfielder?
I think we still need more quality in there, but Ryan. Yeah,
I think Liverpool signed the 3 midfielders at least.
Like at elite level as well. We're not talking like £5 pound world.
You got it. No, wait, what?
I hope to go. Yeah, he's a good player.
Lad, I want him so badly. It's the quiff jacket's not the beard as well.
Yeah, that sounds.
Again, Jude Bellingham to Liverpool. Here we go. Hopefully, I can be saying that, Jordan. Within the next couple of weeks, potentially after a World Cup break. But again, the future, well, hopefully the future will be good for Liverpool. What did Carvalho do? There must be a story of this. I went, no, I don't think there is anything. I think I think everyone has short-term memories where it comes to he did the exact same with Kostas Tsimikas, and everyone was like, "Oh, Jurgen's locking away Kostas and not letting him see anyone." Again, I think it takes for Jurgen to have a specific style with the player. Again, like Jack mentioned, I think Carvalho is slowly being turned into something for Liverpool, which again we might not see until next season.
And mainly as well, Con and Jazz, he's probably doing it for a good reason, like to try and get the best out of him. Like he's not done a pander to, and I don't think any elite manager would, to a player. I think they do it first and foremost to see if you got the right character, as Rafa used to say. And if he's kicking up a fuss, then that just shows Jurgen Klopp and obviously the football club that obviously it's not the type of character you want around the club. I think that's the whole ethos about Liverpool in recent seasons, especially under Jurgen, as we know, Con and Jazz. It's you look at Gini Wijnaldum. He was on the bench against Barca in that second leg. Come on and got the right reaction, really. It's about getting the right reaction from certain players as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, your question on Mason Mount, I again don't think he's coming to Liverpool. I know this fella to the left of me really wants Mason Mount to join Liverpool.
If he is a free, then
he's not free till next summer, by the way.
Yeah, next summer. But we can,
get him away for about 30-40 million, I think.
Oh, mate. I'm signing Barella. I'm signing Jude. I'm signing Mason Mount. I'm signing Gavardio. Then we're winning the league next year, man. Else.
Jordan did the here we go just for our budget. To be fair, when he does sign, we'll definitely be saying that. If he does sign, of course, not if he will sign, because again, I think at the moment, I think very much everyone is under the caution that it is practically Liverpool, Real Madrid.
It would break the internet if actually Liverpool did sign him.
Yeah. I think the big question again is how much is he going to go for? Because we know City and Madrid can match anything that Liverpool put on the table. It's then what does Jude Bellingham want? Does he want to join Liverpool? Does he want to go to Madrid?
It's looks and analyze. Listen to all the pundits and that. Did you see
Thierry Henry? Yeah.
Did he let slip on even? In the past, with what Neville said as well, it looks like internally someone's let something slip. Like they must know, of course, Carragher being quite close with the club as well, and even Gerrard. You're telling me the way Gerrard was a couple of weeks ago on national television for a whole millions of people around the world, he's definitely had a little ring with Jude. He's definitely.
I think
he idolizes him as well.
I think what Liverpool need to do is just act like they're not getting him, just to annoy. Again, social media people, again on Twitter,
especially you.
When it comes to Jude Bellingham, to be fair, I've been quite lost him on it. I've said like 3 or 4 times he's definitely joining Liverpool. So again, if he doesn't join Liverpool, I am in the mud. Chat as well.
Cue the office memes on Twitter, like for everyone. Oh my god!
I didn't mean it. How the turntables have turned. But yeah, again, I do think Jude Bellingham will be a Liverpool player at the end of the saga. Anyway, wasn't Mount talking about how he can't wait to be Chelsea captain? Captain of Chelsea.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne a couple of years ago when he was a baby, when he was like 10, was like, "Oh, massive Liverpool fan as well, chat." Tom, so yeah, and Tom, do you ever off to the Championship last? So enjoy that, lad.
Well, to be fair, Richarlison saved your club from going bankrupt, and then what? Friggin' Frank got relegated.
Today's
I love you still.
the Poundland Simeone that's come in. He took Burnley
Dyche.
down as well, so yeah.
Yeah, true.
Oh no, he sacked him, but more or less took him down.
As Klopp said, Bellingham will go where the passion and the history is, or get labelled for going for the money as well. True, that is true. And again, I think if you watch in detail that Dortmund couch interview that he did, when he spoke about integrity and about how you want to be left as a legacy player in terms of instead of money wise, I think that's a really good insight. Anyway, remember the good old days when Sky Sports News used to go in on managers and owners for tapping up. Whatever happened to tapping up? Again, we almost got done, didn't we, for Virgil van Dijk? But
every top manager does it, and we've said that when we chatted Connor in the past. Like you look at Fergie, like for an absolute.
Well, wasn't
we
it?
Despised him, but he was an expert at what he'd done.
Yeah,
he'd just turn up at someone's gaff and like lock them in the room and say, "You come and see."
Didn't Liverpool have to come out and say, or was it Paul Joyce that had to come out and say that Klopp hasn't spoken to Jude Bellingham, and it's like, why are you saying this information when nobody's mentioned it? I'm just like, why have you mentioned it now? Like, don't like shut up. Like, we don't want another Virgil van Dijk situation where we have to go, oh yeah, by the way, we have got to apologise to Dortmund because we've spoken to Jude Bellingham like 3 or 4 times.
Dortmund won't be too asked if we give them 120 million quid. They'll be like, whoa, you can announce it tomorrow if you want.
That is true. Anyway. A little bit of breaking news for you guys. Anyway, Mike Gordon has resumed his involvement in Liverpool. In the running of Liverpool after a little bit of a break as well. So
resumes. That's good, positive bit of news as well. In terms of he was very good at his job also, and I think that probably, would you say, Colin Chat, would be a massive point to why the communication from in terms of transfers and that. I'm not 100% well adversed to see how much of an influence he does have at the club internally. I don't think any of us are. But that could be a point to why, obviously, there might be a bit of miscommunication.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, but guys, we are going to leave it there for tonight. Anyway, of course, it's been an absolute brilliant show. We've been gone for an hour, so big thank you to all of you guys as well, and big thank you to Jack as well for coming on. But of course, we've spoken about Diogo Jota, and obviously the rumours that Newcastle are very much eyeing up a potential move. But again, it will cost. Like we've said, north of 70 million euros for Liverpool. Of course, we've spoken about again Kelleher. I'm not going to mention his first name again, guys. Sorry, I will absolutely butcher it.
Do it.
He will leave Liverpool at the end of the season, and of course, we've also mentioned Luis Díaz. Of course, there was suggestions that he could be back for Bournemouth and Real Madrid, but again, David Lynch, obviously one of the most reliable people out there in terms of Liverpool news, again, has said that, again, Luis Díaz will not be involved for the game against Bournemouth. Again, not necessarily saying against Real Madrid because you never know, but again, I think it would be a bit too early to bring him back from his injury as well. But what's Spider saying? Spider saying, how I look at it now is if we have done a deal for Darwin at 100 million end of the deal, then I don't see why we won't do it for Jude at 30 million extra as well. And Spider saying, Queeveen Kelleher. There we go. Spider as well. Anyway, but mods, if there's any mods in here, please leave Anfield Road TV's links in the comment section down below. I'll make sure I do it as well at the end of the stream as well. But Jack, have you got anything else to say before we do head off?
Yeah, no, massive thank you very much for having me on, mate, and big up Chas. I did do a pre-match build-up show, obviously, with Craig from Up the Cherries Bournemouth fan channel as well. That's on my channel. I've done that tonight, but obviously make sure you do head over, subscribe to the Cop Council as well. Please, everyone, get Connor to a K. Like, if you can do one thing tonight, share it on Facebook or share the channel, say get every load of people subscribing as well. So come on, you know what to do. Share the video, share the content, like the content on all your social media accounts.
Again, to be fair, I've actually looked at it, and what we spoke about with TikTok and that with the shared data, it's actually worked a little bit. So again, if this is new people coming over from TikTok, then thank you very much for tuning in as well. Because again, I have to try and get. We're gonna have to try to get this streaming on TikTok as well to get people in. Again, I don't know how you do it that well because again, I think you've got to go. I think you've got to go live. I think 3 or 4 times on TikTok before you can get into the studio and that. I'm not entirely sure anyway. But again, if you're not checking us out on TikTok, then go and do it. We'll do some TikTok dances of Jude Bellingham signs for Liverpool as well. Again, I've said that.
That's content I'll pay £5 a month. We all would chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Again, we'll be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. with a preview show for Bournemouth. Because again, Jurgen's press conference will be around, I think, 12:30, I think, tomorrow as well. So again, we'll have some, hopefully have some news coming from Jurgen's press conference as well. Anyway, but if you ain't already, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button as well. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. I've been Connor from the Cup Council. See you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.